So welcome to Instagram 101. This is definitely going to be interactive. I want you to ask questions as we go.
Okay.
And if there's something very, very specific to what you're doing, we can always discuss it again later on if it's not going to apply to the group.
Okay.
Okay, so of course, whenever you're doing anything, you have a brand that you're trying to create. So you need to take some time to just sit down and understand, like, who are you trying to reach? Who is your audience? What's your mission? What's your purpose? Things that inspire you. And if you already have an Instagram account, what do you know that's working? Because those are things you're going to want to repeat. If you know that there's things that are not working, definitely take those things out. When you're thinking about the things that inspire you and what you like about your page or what you think you're going to do on your page, you also need to know who is your audience. And just remember, everyone is not your audience. So take things into consideration and narrow that scope. Like with intentional faith, we know that we're looking for people who are philanthropic. We're looking for people who like to give back to their community. And you just want to find that sweet spot of, we know they live in the Tennessee Valley. We know that they go to charity events, whatever. Like, you're looking for things that will be of interest to them. And particularly some of the programs that you offer, I think you have to like play with it a little bit and try to
Yes,
get that sweet spot. When you're thinking about the things that you're going to be sharing on your Instagram account, you want to kind of shake things up a little bit. And so you want to kind of share things like tell them about your family or your dog or your cat or your rabbit or whatever. Tell them about your hobby. We played with some promotional things where we did some of her painting in slow motion, so things like that are really
sounds
fun for your
interesting.
followers.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can even speed it up. And so it doesn't matter if it's slow or if it's fast or whatever, a progress update, whatever.
Yes.
Anything that creates interest with your audience. And of course, people love inspirational quotes. You might find that you get followers just because you're sharing something that really touches their heart. Let's say Intentional Faith wanted to share one of your paintings. It would be great for Intentional Faith to say, "This is my friend Melanie's painting." You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
You want to give credit where credit is due as well.
Yeah.
Just getting started, you're going to want to make your bio, and your bio should match exactly like who you are and what you do. And you have a limitation on how much you can include in your bio. So you want your bio to represent like really quickly. And we're going to lose our audience if we don't reach them quickly. When you're planning for your Instagram account, you have to do a little bit of research. You have to look around a little bit and just find what other people are doing that kind of hits you the right way. And if if it really speaks to you, then just take a couple of ideas, make them your own, use the things that you really like to make that brand appeal. And I would also encourage you, like when you're branding yourself, your logo has certain colors if you have a logo. So you want to stick with the things that are like consistent, because like I said before, you're on a marathon, not a sprint. So you want to be like consistent all across the board. You're going to be using your brand colors. You're going to be using all the things that say who you are and what you do. And they're going to see like a little bit about who you are as a person. And a lot of times people buy into what you have because of who you are. So this first one is posting, and you see this little box of boxes here. That's your grid on your profile page. And then you have the highlights. These are your Instagram stories. And we're going to talk about how to do that in a minute. And then this guy right here, it looks like an old-fashioned TV in the middle. That's your Instagram TV. We're going to touch on that a little bit. Magnifying glass is your search button. Reels is in the middle. Shopping is over here. This might be a good thing for you, Melanie. And then your profile picture is here. It brings you back to.
Yes. Yes.
We're going to start with standard posts. What you can do with a standard post. You can do up to 10 pictures. You can do a single picture. You can also put a short video. Anything up to 59 seconds is a short video. You want to include your content, which is the words associated with what you're sharing, and then your hashtags. You can put your location, tag your friends and colleagues whenever it makes sense. Use a call to action that's letting them know how to get what you have.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so we have a few viewing options, and I think that primarily Instagram is going to be on your phone, but you do have the option to use your computer with limitation. Now, when you're viewing, you have, going back to the grid, you have this on your profile
Yes.
page, and that's going to give you this view where there are thumbnails. But if you're on your page and you touch a thumbnail, it's going to get big like this one in the middle, right here. And then if you hit the home button, which is this guy right here, you're going to jump over to the news feed. And in the news feed at the very top, you're going to see all these stories. Okay, so the notifications is the quickest and easiest way to see the most current activity, and it navigates you right through it without having to go far. So once you hit that button at the top that looks like a heart, it will it'll tell you usually if somebody's liking and following your page. It'll tell you if you have a message. It will let you know that people have replied to some of your comments, and it will even let you reply right inside of this notification. So we talked about stories a little bit already. So we know that on the home screen, this row of circles is where the stories are at. Now, your story is always going to sit here whether or not you have a story. So this is where you're going to push it and add a story. This little guy right here is also how you can share to your story. If you're sharing someone else's story, it may be private. And if it's private, it does not let you share to your story, but it will let you share into the direct messages. Stories are available for 24 hours. Then you have the opportunity to put them into your highlights. And I have a little video that's coming up. I'm going to show you how to do that. So this is just me showing you what one of the stories looks like. So that was me pushing my face. Now I'm pushing my highlights.
Oh, yeah.
And when you're doing your when you're doing your stories, you have the opportunity to create things that are more interactive and fun. You can create a poll, you can ask a question, you can do something that just looks more interactive, like it's animated. So once you put something into a story, that's where you're going to be able to add to your highlights that is on your profile page. So I'm taking things out. You're going to see the little check marks go away. And when you choose something to be in your highlights, that's the way that you also make it show up as your little highlight button. So that's what I'm doing now. So when you use a hashtag, you may have noticed already that hashtags, when they pop, like when you start typing them in, it pops up a number and that tells you how often that hashtag is being used. So if you see one that's, let's say you were just using the word charity or philanthropic or philanthropy or art or something like that, you might start typing it and you might see a few more pop up, and the number may be less or more. You're going to want to choose more because that means that's what people are looking for. But it doesn't mean you should stop there. If you saw that there was some other ones that maybe you hadn't thought of before and they're getting like 2 million views, definitely use it. Yeah, put it in there. Make it fit what you're doing, what your mission is, who your audience is, and also be specific. So even though you can say that you're posting from Huntsville, Alabama, you may want to say Rocket City is one of your hashtags, because like every area sort of has their own little hashtag that's specific to their area. This is the pro tip for the day. I would say keep an electronic note on your phone that you can copy and paste really quick of all the hashtags that you want to use. And I would also recommend editing the list regularly. But those hashtags sometimes go stale, and you want to make sure that you're using the ones that are most appropriate and So we're going to talk about messaging for just a minute. We already talked about how they're called DMs instead of PMs. This is also a really good way to engage people. If there's a special thing going on, or let's say Intentional Faith is having a gala, you can message people and say, did you know? Because here's the thing, people are looking at a lot of stuff and they don't know. You think that they might, but really and truly, they're probably not going to know. Share either from your story, you can share from your page, or you can simply just have a regular DM. And when, of course, other people can share your posts, and it will drop into your DM if they share it. So you're going to be notified.
Yeah.
Kind of a cool thing. So again, your bio only allows for one link. So the link tree is an outside app. It offers free services.
I'll be DMing you.
Yes.
To help.
So we just clicked on the membership button, and this is where it takes you right to my membership page.
Yes.
On my website. All right, so here's a little bit about Instagram TV. I'm just going to play my little video.
Hey.
But these are for videos that are 60 seconds or longer. So you could go for an hour if you wanted to. Okay. But this is a great way to also organize. It's more of a simplified version of YouTube. It does not go to YouTube. It's not YouTube at all. But I'm just saying, like, if you were going to talk about something that your audience wants to know about, then you can create series. So you can categorize your series based on whatever topic. So our next event I want to share with you guys, I'm super excited about it. If you have never met Tara Pickens, she is an anointed speaker. She is amazing, and she's going to be speaking about vision. Vision is so important in your business, even if your business is a charity, and you will be completely blessed.